What's up, guys? It's Cormac back here with the Disciples, and here we have.
Oh, it's hi, I'm Gabe. It's my deck profile from top 16 in Cancun. Yeah, that's where we are. So we just finished. I got top 16. I was finished like 14th after Swiss. I won top 16 and lost top 30. Won top 32. Lost top 16 to Cody. And yeah, I mean it's Purrely, but I know there's a Purrely deck profile from 2 days ago. But I actually played Go First Purrely, but kinda. So yes, stay tuned for. Let me show you. I don't have a good explanation other than showing it. The idea is that I wanted to play Purrely, but I was very ill, and I didn't back myself of breaking boards the whole day. And so I was like, well, what if I release a Go Second Purrely deck profile? People randomly start making me go first. It did not happen. No one made me go first. I also managed to lose like basically all die rolls. Which is it all in frame?
It's all in frame. It's all good.
Is it your frame?
Yeah.
It's just Purrely engine. Like I max on it. But the idea is like I choose to go first, and then I improve a bit of the bad matchups like combo Chimera. And I think that against Unchained, people are dropping some of the respect, so you can actually win a lot of games against Unchained going first. Like Jesse's list didn't main trust last weekend, and he was not playing 6 books, only 3. So I'm like, oh, against this, I can resolve like Noir and win the game. So I was like, what if I go first? Against Cash, it's a bit worse. We can still win going first. And if I knew it was Cash, I was telling them to start.
Sure.
What happened is that I lost like 8 die rolls. So I just played Go Second Purrely with worse cards. And I was telling a lot of people to start both sides. There's not much of a difference. But yeah, Purrely engine, box standard, still 3 field spell, even though I choose to go first, because I like going second post side, and it's good in a bunch of matchups, and I think the White Cat hitting is valuable. And then another thing that changed, I actually played 3 pots. I think I mentioned this last one. I'm just bad. I should have played 3 pots. There's less draw, so this always goes through. And it goes pretty well with the side cards. I don't like this card going first because it doesn't actually do too much. Like, there's not a lot of specific cards you want to reach. The best use is trying to hit Delicious to try to beat books, like Hard Make Noir. And it's cool because it puts a spell in Grave, so when you get Delicious and use Prosperity, you have an extra target to attach with Plump. So that comes up. And then I was 3 Astronib. I wanted cards that when I draw off Sleep, you're good. I think these are bad into good Unchained players, but I back that I can beat the bad ones by drawing Nib, and it was true. I think Ash is actually somewhat bad into the good ones because you just hope with them like passing on, like they 2-card combo you when you Ash a trap and they pass. So yeah, they're pretty good. And then each play doesn't go first because of Eclipse, because you need like more outs to Eclipse, because that's the most common one. And then I main this god awful card of Yu-Gi-Oh! It was less bad this week. This card is of course a lot better going first than it is going second. Cross out Labu, cross out some Imperms. Cool thing, I played Kang and then I put this in for Herald of the Abyss because that's his Noir out. Then I drew the Herald of the Abyss.
Unlucky.
As cursed card. But I think you have to play and go first Purrely. Like, your deck actually breaks apart somewhat well, so sometimes this pairing straight for an Ash works well. I hated it less than I thought I would when submitting the list. And then 1 Moon, 2 Eclipse. So I guess 2 Eclipse, 1 this, 1 Empire, 1 Talons, 1 this. So it's like cross out variety targets. It's 41. In theory, you could just not main this Duster, just play 40. I kind of like the Duster, and there was one thing on the side that can extra deck that I was unsure, so like I'll just play the Duster in the main, play 41. These are all good. Yeah, not mentioned. I don't have a lot to say. There's a lot more in-depth explanations on Purrely on the other deck profile. This is just a quick overview. This is still the same side deck. This is the same from last week. The Trust and the Storms and the Abyss. I really like it. So this is basically what I had in the main deck for Vancouver and Brazil. The idea, and then now I just have them in the side, and then post side I decide if I want to play go first Purrely or go second Purrely. I was telling Unchained and Cash to start, for example. So yeah, D6. The one thing that's new is layers. So I play 3 layers, this fucker, this one, and this. So the idea is that Slayer is like the biggest blowout you can have against Unchained. I remember last deck profile had some Bestials. Those are awful when they play into Trust for bad here. Slayer cleans up the Link, and then you can use it to clean up the Exceed, or if you already have an Exceed out, you can hit a back row. They're okay for me. Whenever I drew, they were good. The top 16 I drew it and I got bad hurt, so I lost anyway. But the card is meant to be good. And in this deck specifically, because you have Slayer, Trust, and 3 Prosperity, so you get to this Slayer a lot in the matchups it matters. This dropped a bit of the cash respect, but the cash matchup is so good that like you can keep like nibbing against cash and it's not bad, right? Like you have so many good cards into cash, you don't have to have the 15 perfect ones, like Ricard's for example. And then Entus is for also Discover Dragon Link. The deck kind of had a problem against Dragon Link because you don't play like multiple hand traps. You can Slayer, send this, the Seal, and then this a Borderland. So yeah, you can do stuff. And then I did Entus because my deck is awfully into Chimera and Despia, and this allowed me to cover this with Slayers. I haven't played against it to make sure if it's Entus or Garura. There's a world that Garura is better. Entus works very well if they don't know what they're doing, because like when you Slayer the Chimera guy, they can chain Chimera Fusion to make birth from that the Chimera guy into a second Chimera guy, and then the Entus, when you target something, gets negated by Cornfield. So there's a world Chimeras, but if they don't know what they're doing and they just do some other things, because I watched the game next to me that the guy got Slayered and he just made a Stapelia and just got popped. So maybe it's Entus, maybe it's Garura, but I think you have to play a target. Especially because their side deck is kind of cut off in space. You could put this in the extra. We're gonna go over that in a sec. And then one draw for crossout, third Eclipse, and the one back here for crossout / Trust. So it's basically the same cards that I had in my list, just in a different order, plus layers. And then extra deck is the same extra: double Noir, Baby Noir, double Happy, Beauty, Plump, double Zeus. I swear I never summon this card. Slacker, Downerd, Azalea, Anima. These are like the ones you have to play. And then the 2 spots you could... Oh. Excuse me, sorry. I'm ill. The 2 spots you could consider cutting to main the Life Twin Brick is the Dark and the Princess Pride. So Dark is a contact C1, and it comes up against Unchained. And because I was playing Go First Purrely, in theory this Princess Pride can come up. I think I did it like once or twice. I was going to cut it. Pierre told me, no, don't cut it, you're crazy. I think it was fine if I cut it. And I could just like sided the Duster and play 40, but it's kind of minor. But yeah, kind of quickly because we did this already. Shout outs, all the boys for the weekend. Everyone that showed up had a huge as my birthday party in Cancun, which was a madness. What else? The Disciples, Netz, the Brotherhood Games, and Konami for doing an event in a nice place because we're going straight to the beach after this. So yeah, I'll enjoy my week's break and I'll see you all in Dortmund. Peace.